Golfers over 50, listen up. If you're tired of losing club head speed and distance year after year, and you're fed up with waking up after rounds, having to pop painkillers like candy, and you want to say goodbye to stiffness and pain so you can walk 36 holes in a day and on back-to-back days, then it's time for a change. Ditch all the endless stretches, swap out the light weights you've been performing, and actually select a weight that's going to challenge you, because you need the right stimulus in order to truly transform. And stick around to the end of the video, as I'm going to give away a free gift to you. I'm Nathan Jackson. I'm a strength conditioning coach and nutritionist for golfers. Welcome to the Golf Fitness Dungeon, where it doesn't always look pretty, but it's where we get after it and we get shit done. Now, today I want to go over 6 simple drills that all golfers over 50 can benefit from. And the nice thing here is you can take these drills, mash them together, and create a solid workout routine that checks off a lot of the boxes like power prep, mobility, stability, strength, and core strength. Okay, let's get started here with some pogos. Pogos are great for creating some stiffness in the lower body. Now, we're getting older, whether ourselves or we have friends that basically have kids or grandkids, they're out there playing with them, they make a quick cut and they tear, a calf muscle, or they blow out their Achilles. I've been working with golfers of all ages, but my older golfers have come to me after starting pickleball, going from couch to pickleball, and having very similar injuries. So we want to try and create a little bit more resilience in that lower body, and pogos are a great way to start, not only for injury prevention, but also as a golfer, it's kind of where we start increasing your explosiveness. And this is a nice, safe way to start for older population or older golfers. So what we're going to do is basically good stack of thorax on top of pelvis. So big breath in, exhale, without losing any height, let the lower ribs just kind of fall naturally down the belt buckle. Going to come up onto our toes, so our heels are off the ground. We want to keep the heels about this distance from the ground, get nice and tight with that lower body, and we're just going to basically do little bunny hops. And I'm going to use my arms to kind of propel myself off the ground, just like so. Very similar to jumping rope. Okay, and just look at my heels right now, how they stay as far from the ground as possible. What I don't want to see is heels coming down every time you jump. So maintain that stiffness in the lower body. Okay, we're going to start with that. Now, as always, all the reps and sets are going to be in the caption below. That way I don't have to remember those things. Okay, so we start out with some pogos. We're going to move into a front foot elevated split squat with a contralateral load. So we're going to grab a dumbbell. And I just want to make a note of this. The repetitions I give you down below for the strength exercises, they're going to be roughly about 8. In order to have a weight that is heavy enough, when you get to 8, if you could do 2 more, but that's it, that's probably a pretty good weight for you, especially if you're just starting out. If you get to 8 and you could do like 12 to 15, the weight's too light. You need to go up in weight, okay? That's a great way to basically call this like 2 reps in reserve. So if we went to 8, you could do 10. We're keeping those 2 reps kind of in our back pocket. It's a great way to train heavy, but at the same time, do it safely. Okay, so we're going to go here with a split stance, front foot elevation. The reason why I chose front foot elevation, with the pelvis being in the position it's going to be in, with a good stack of thorax on top of pelvis, we're going to actually open up the area, the low back area, just above the belt buckle here. So split stance position, good stack of thorax on pelvis. Right now, because my left foot is forward, my belt buckle kind of rotated, my pelvis rotated to the right. Just focus on your left, or take your left back pocket and pull it back. So now your belt buckle is facing forward. That's going to bias hip internal rotation on the lead leg and a little bit of hip external rotation on the trail leg. We're basically killing 2 birds, 1 stone here with a strength exercise, and we're getting a little bit of mobility as well. Okay, so contralateral load, weight's always going to be in the opposite hand that the foot is forward, shoulders slightly pulled back. Think elevator on the way down and way up, as opposed to escalator. And then from here, breathe in on the way down. Exhale up. Trying to get most of that work from the lead leg. Okay, great drill there to, again, open up the area back of the pelvis and strength train as well. So we got repetitions on both sides. From here, we're going to go into a hinge. So what I want you to do is, now I'll go the other leg here. We'll step out from a wall. Okay, I'm going to put my toes kind of on the ground with my midfoot to heel up against the wall, pushing into the wall there. Okay, nice and tall. As always, thorax on top of pelvis. Contralateral load again, so right foot forward this time. Left, or weight in the left hand. And then from here, what I want to do is hinge at the hip. lower the weight down as we're loading the tissue of the glutes and the hamstrings. And then we're gonna come back up, okay? Let's actually get a little bit closer to the wall here. We always wanna make sure that our shin is perpendicular to the floor as we do this, okay? Now, a couple of ways I've seen people cheat this. One is they think lower is always better. And so you only wanna go as far as you can hinge your hips. So I'm hinging. That's about as far as I can hinge. There's two ways I can cheat this. One, I can lose the connection of my core and just kind of fold at the mid-spine area and go down, or I can rock back. And so again, I've lost the perpendicular shin angle that I had, and now I'm just kind of trying to get low by sinking back. So again, stay nice and tall, keep that shin perpendicular to the ground, good tripod foot, big toe, knee, crease the hip all stacked on top of one another. And just because I have my right foot forward, just remember, my pelvis is now facing left. I'm going to pull the right back pocket back this time, square up the belt buckle to basically to you, and then go ahead and hinge down, loading the glute and the hamstrings, and then come back up. So again, the weight in the left arm is a contralateral load, going to help bias internal rotation. So those are your two lower body strength exercises. Let's move on to upper body strength exercises. So we're going to grab a cable, or if you don't have access to a cable, you can definitely do bands. But again, make sure, again, I think it's about 8 repetitions I'm giving you. Make sure that you have heavy enough bands that's going to challenge you. So the first one here is going to be a row. You're going to set up the cable with the bands basically about like lower rib height. You're going to step out. If the band or the handle is in your right hand, we're going to step forward with the left foot. So again, kind of our contralateral position. Nice and balanced on that left foot. Shoulders down away from the ears. And then from here, I'm going to reach forward. As I reach forward, just like my pelvis, if I reach forward with my right arm, my torso is going to rotate to the left. Okay. Then from here, I'm going to breathe in and then exhale and row and then reach with my left hand. And now you can notice that my sternum is now facing 45 degrees to the right. My head stays stationary, looking forward. Breathe in. We're just getting that good rotation with the torso. Okay, so I don't want you to excessively have to reach or pull with that right arm. And then when you row, just be careful that you're not rowing like this, where the shoulder is coming down. Stay nice and tall with your body or with your torso. Let the shoulder blade squeeze your spine when you row. And then when you go into this position, let the shoulder blade wrap around your rib cage. We want that movement in the shoulder blade. So again, both sides there. What we're trying to accomplish here is some strength training with a little bit of mobility as well with the rib cage. Okay, moving into a single arm press now. So weight's going to be a little bit higher up. I'm going to grab the weight into the left arm. Same thing, contralateral. We're going to step out with the right foot. Okay, get good and balanced on that right foot. Nice and tall, good stack of thorax on top of pelvis. And then from here, going to reach forward with the free arm. When I do that, my sternum is now facing 45 to the left. Breath in, exhale, press out. My sternum is now rotated 45 to the right, and then back and forth. Again, letting that shoulder blade wrap around the rib cage, okay, as you're pressing and pulling in. When you come back in, again, just like the rows, don't let your shoulder kind of dip down. Stay nice and tall and proud there. Okay, so that's your upper body, single arm, cable, or band movements. Very similar to lower body. We are strength training as well as trying to keep and maintain our mobility. Okay, final exercise here. We're gonna drop the weight a little bit. We're gonna drop the weight stack as well. Grab a stability ball if you have it, or a medicine ball. Just gonna move this out of the way. And so with this drill, we're actually gonna work on stability as well as a little bit of core strength. Now, with this combination, because of the drill we're picking, we're actually sacrificing a little bit of the core strength because you could do a lot more weight if you're in a bilateral stance like I am now, okay, going through the drill. Because I'm gonna have you go into a single leg stance, okay, just like so, we can't go as heavy because it's gonna pull you off balance. So we're gonna sacrifice a little bit of the core strength. Still gonna be good, just not as much as you could lift, okay? but we're also targeting some balance. So right foot is forward. So again, my pelvis is now rotated to the left. Pull that right pocket back so belt buckle is facing straight ahead. I'm gonna grab the handle with your, in this case, my right hand, take my left hand free and just kind of put it on the cable machine here. We're gonna stand nice and tall, good stack of thorax on pelvis. The reason why I like this ball is as you rotate your torso, your hands go with it. Okay, a lot of times people will do their rotation drills and they're just moving their arms and their torso basically stays straight ahead. The ball basically forces you to kind of rotate along with it. So you're here, good stack of thorax on pelvis, our foot is nice and balanced, and then from here, let the cable win, rotate, and drive out. Keep the head facing forward. If you wanted to make this a little bit more, I don't even want to say golfish, but I guess in this case it probably is a little bit. Okay, this is kind of a drill that I actually use, helps me with my swing, but at the same time it's because of stability. So I lack stability. The first drill would be just fine, but I would just basically hunch over a little bit more. Same drill, get nice and heavy on my right foot, let the cable win, rotate my torso, and then when I'm ready, drive across my lead leg, just as we would in the golf swing. There you have it, guys. 6 drills. I really like for golfers 50 and above to help us with mobility, stability, some strength, some power prep, and some strength or some core strength and control. If you guys got something from this, please crush the like button. If you want to not miss another video, go find the sweet spot of that subscribe button. As always, you got to get strong if you want to play long. We'll see you in the next video. And I almost forgot the free gift I wanted to give you guys. If you drop the number 50 down below, I'll send you a link where you can grab the PDF with links to the 6 exercises I shared with you today. That goes into much more detail of each exercise and gives you the ins and outs and everything else for it. But I'll also give you the tracker that you can kind of track your workouts over 4 to 6 sessions so you can see if you're making progress or not. Again, if that interests you, drop the number 50 down below. As always, get strong, play long. We'll see you in the next one.